Hey everybody, it's Kimberly, also known as Kim Sense, and I just want to give you a couple of tools and tips that you can utilize this year when you file your 2022 tax return in 2023. Okay, the first thing is let's talk about tax refunds, right? Everybody's always looking to say, okay, I'm looking for this large tax refund. Not everybody, but some people are, right? So if you're looking for, of course, a tax refund, the first thing I would say is kind of change that, because you don't want to allow Uncle Sam to use your money interest-free throughout the year, right? So you want to break even at tax time. And one way that you can do that, you can use the irs.gov tool. It's an online calculator where you can actually enter your income, your expenses for the year, and it'll tell you what amount you need to break even at tax time. But you want to be careful, because if you put your taxes or have your taxes withheld too low, of course, you may end up owing. So you just really want to be careful concerning that. But that's the first tip that I will tell you. The second thing, when you file your taxes this year, file as soon as you can, right? And if you think you're not going to be able to file on time, get an extension. And a lot of people think that, look, okay, I'm filing this extension. This will extend my time, not only to file, but it extends my time to pay. That is so not true. So if you expect that you are going to owe the IRS, you want to pay in as much as you can before the due date. The due date this year is a little bit different. It is April 18th. So you do want to mark that on your calendar. You get in a couple extra days to file, but keep that in mind. The third tip when it comes to your taxes that you just definitely want to take advantage of, if you have yet to file your prior year tax returns as it relates to 2021, 2020, you want to do so as soon as possible. Why? Because the IRS only allows 3 years to file those tax returns in order to get your tax refund. So if you're expected to get a tax refund from 2021, you only have a limited time to do so. So you don't want to wait. And those years are crucial. Why? Because those are the years where you have higher child tax credit amounts. You have the higher child and dependent care tax credit amounts. All of these different things that you may qualify for, you definitely want to file those taxes. Another good tip that you want to think about this year when you file your taxes, get a tax checklist, an organizer. You can get them offline. You can go to my website at Kimberly.com. I also have some information there. But you want to get an idea what deductions you may qualify. So I'm going to go just high level, of course. There's so many different deductions. So if you are a parent, just like we talked about, the different child tax credits, the child and dependent care credit, the earned income tax credit. If you're someone who saves money, you're saving to retirement, you want to look at the savers credit, right? Because that can give you a credit for the amount that you put into your retirement account or an IRA. You also want to take advantage of, if you are putting money into an IRA, you want to be able to deduct that on your tax return, if, of course, it's a traditional IRA, if that's the route you're going. If you are a student, you want to think about deductions there. Remember, you can take a deduction for your education. So you want to make sure that, okay, I get all of my expenses related to that and take that deduction. If you're a homeowner, you're thinking about your interest. You're thinking about the taxes that you pay for your home, right? If you're a small business owner, the list can be a very long list, but some high-level things that you want to think about, of course, your home office expense, okay? If you use your credit card for different expenses, you can take the deduction for credit card interest. Also, if you're a small business, you want to think about other things like advertising expenses, contract labor, legal, marketing, which is similar to advertising, but all these different types of expenses, anything that relates to your business that's ordinary and necessary, right? You want to make sure you take advantage of it. You can also take advantage of meals that you pay for throughout the year in 2022. Keep in mind, you can take a larger amount if you actually had those meals with clients inside of a restaurant. So all of these different expenses that you want to take advantage of. And especially when you're a small business owner, I think this will be my biggest tip, is that if you are a small business owner, take time to analyze your business and what entity you're filing your tax returns as. Let me give an example. You may be a sole proprietor, but you may see that it may be better to file rather as an S corporation or a partnership or a corporation. Whatever the case, meet with a professional, let them run the numbers. That service, if you pay somebody, will actually pay for itself. Another thing that I just want to stress, maybe two other small points, is that remember, tax preparation is not tax planning. I'm a CPA. So if someone's coming to me right now around this time, they're asking for tax preparation. That doesn't provide tax planning. Tax planning should have been done last year. So now is the time you start thinking about tax planning to prepare you for when you file next year. And a lot of people don't realize how important that is, how much money that can save you in taxes if you start early. And last but certainly not least, this is just kind of a tip, not so much when it comes to filing, but just overall when it comes to the IRS. Many people know I used to work for the IRS. I was both a revenue agent and also a criminal investigator when I decided, okay, I'm going to move away from the IRS and do something different, which I did. And so one of the things that I would just share with you is make certain that if you receive a penalty from the IRS and this is your first time, you may want to request what's called a first-time penalty relief. And so that's a chance for, I like to call it a get-out-of-jail-free card, right? So you can call the IRS and say, hey, listen, I have this penalty. I want it abated. You can write a letter to the IRS. And if it's your first time or if you haven't had a penalty in the last 3 years, they'll remove those penalties. So I hope all this information is helpful. For more tips, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thanks so much and have a blessed day.